Hi, and welcome back to Pittman's Pumpkin Patch, Pittman's Garden Patch. It's July 28th, 2018. Wanted to go through a little bit of the small part of the garden, and the rest of the stuff's going to be focused on pumpkins. I just shot a long video, and I was towards the end. All of a sudden, my batteries ran dead on me, so I had to start all over. Go figure. Anywho, all the way over there at the end, you see those wooden trellises, and they still have some green beans, some pole beans on them. They've kind of fizzled out for the most part, at least in a portion of them. But, you know, they did pretty good. And I still have lots of tomatoes on here. And I have my pepper plants are starting to come in. And they're starting to produce more and more. And there's a little bit of English thyme and some oregano mixed in one or two, about maybe 3 plants worth in the garden. Okay, on to the main part for the rest of this year, most likely, the pumpkins. So I have 2 different varieties of pumpkins in the garden. When I say varieties, actually there's more varieties, but within the pumpkin part of the cucurbits family, think of it kind of like a tree, if you will. You know, kind of do that little pyramid. A family tree, one leads to another, and it splits, and then that splits, and that one splits, and sort of something like that. So within the pumpkin family, there's and the cucurbits family, there's all the watermelons, squash, zucchinis, cucumbers, pumpkins, gourds, things like that. Okay. So now within the pumpkin part, that gets broken down into other varieties. Machida, I believe is how you pronounce one of them. Maxima and Peppo, subgroups, if you will, of the pumpkins. And what happens, so I don't grow any of the Machidas, never have, but and I believe that would be spaghetti squash, I believe is that one. But what I have here is Maxima families mixed with Peppo families. And that is, you know, I generally wouldn't want to mix 2 varieties of pumpkins in the same patch because they do not cross-pollinate with one another. Peppos cannot pollinate Maximas, and Maximas cannot pollinate Peppos. Okay? You have to have Peppo to Peppo varieties and Maxima to Maxima varieties. So let me get started with what I have here. So on this side of the garden, most of them are the Maxima families, but I do have maybe 3 Peppos over here because I had no more room on the other side, so I had to put them here. So I have right here and right there, I have 2 full moon pumpkins. Now those are Maximas, but the variety of Maxima is full moon. Okay, that's the name. And they will produce a large, supposedly up to 200-pound white pumpkin. So we'll see what I get with that. Last year I grew polar bear varieties, which were white pumpkins, and they did pretty good. I grew, I think, like a 38-pounder, so that was not bad for me. Right here and next to it is Big Moon, where the other 2 were full moon and white pumpkins. The Big Moon varieties are going to produce a large orange pumpkin, I think maybe up to 200 pounds as well. Now, the pumpkins right there, and all the way down at the end there, all of that, those are Dill's Atlantic Giant pumpkins. Those are the Guinness Book of World Record winners, right? Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to get anything close to that, but it's just kind of fun to see what you get, you know. And who knows, I might be in some giant pumpkin contest one day. Who knows? But I grew them for the first time last year with no success. The plants just fizzled out on me. Well, this year, these 4 have passed that stage, so they're doing a lot better than last year, and they're producing out a short little vine. And one of the ways you can tell a Maxima family pumpkin plant from a Peppo family is in the color of the stem when it first comes out of the ground. The Peppos are dark green, whereas the Maximas are like a limey green or a light green. Also, the female flowers, the female pumpkins underneath the flower petals on a Maxima family are yellow, and then they turn to usually an orange or whatever color they're going to be. Whereas the Peppo families, the female fruit, the pumpkin that's underneath the petals, are green, and then will ripen to orange later on. Also, you can tell by the shape of the leaves as well sometimes, if you really know what you're looking for. So right here, here, and here, these three little sickly looking things, those were just ones I planted within the past couple days. So hopefully they'll take off here and get really healthy. Those are, this one right here is an old Zebs, O-L-Z-E-B-S, space between the Ol and the Zebs. And that produced good pumpkins for me last year. I was very impressed with them. So I like those. And I'll probably continue to grow those into the future too. And these two right here are Mr. Wrinkles. I've grown those before, but they are a nice pumpkin. They're not super large, maybe 12, 14 pounds maybe, but they have very good ribbing on them, and I just like that. Kind of a cool name, Mr. Wrinkles. Here's my the only survivor of the winter of last year of my fig tree, of some little sticks or whatever that I actually got off my dad's fig tree in his yard, and planted the stick in the ground. One of the branches is cut off, stick in the ground, keep it watered, grows its own roots, start a new plant. Real simple. Ooh, well, I see fruit. Look at there. Look at there. Look at that. Let me get you a good contrast. See that? Little fruit right there. Little fruit right there. You know. Now, it's not going to give me any fruit this year, but it's cool anyways. So then I come over here, and I'll save my favorite for last. You guys already know what it is if you've been keeping up with me. And here we have another Mr. Wrinkles plant. This is the Peppo family. Old Zebs is also a Peppo family. And the vine is coming out right here, so it's heading out towards the yard. So I'll have to deal with that pretty soon and gently bend it and direct it to where I want it to go. You notice I'm using these larger than squash. And these are ones I didn't get to and didn't discover till it was too late, so they weren't really good for a lot of things, but they make good weights. Now the rest of this row, you see these little scrawny looking pumpkin plants in here. Those varieties, that's kind of a little bit of a healthier one. This is my healthiest one, and this is another pretty good healthy one too. These are mainly grown because my wife kind of likes that small, like 3 to 4 to 6 pound little pumpkins. So I'm kind of growing those for her and see what we get out of them. But the nice thing about this is this came in a mixed variety in the package. So I have no idea which seeds are going to produce what kind of pumpkins, providing of course that I get some pumpkin out of it. I don't know if they're going to be solid orange. I don't know if they're going to be solid white with a little bit of ribbing. I don't know if it's going to be this one variety I saw in the package where it had like, it was ribbed and it had like dark orange and then like a light creamy orange banding on it. So we'll see what happens with that. My last set of pumpkins that I'm growing out here is my traditional ones that I always grow all the time because they're my favorites. You guys know them if you've been watching my videos. Howden, H-O-W-D-E-N, Howden pumpkins. They're in the Peppo family. And of course, you got a Howden pumpkins. That's one of my little things that I do. It is what it is. But again, they're my favorites because you guys know Howden, howling like a wolf, Halloween, kind of all goes together. Howling wolves and Halloween and Howden pumpkins. So that to me is that. So I have, you can see this this vine has come all the way over here, and it's wanting to do its thing here and come out from under its protective coverings. And other ones are vining all along, going crazy and everything. And this particular Howden right here has already tertiary vines going on it. Tertiary meaning 3. This vine right here that comes all the way over and goes down there, that's the main vine. And this is the secondary vine. It could be the tertiary vine, but it's not the main one. And I can tell because it's skinnier in its circumference and diameter. And here is the third vine coming out this way and coming up here. Of course, that could be a second. Who knows? It's not a big deal. Now this vine right here, going back in here, that's the main vine. You can see it going back in there of this Howden pumpkin plant. And it's doing its thing. Now, I did want, sorry, I was picking up something. I did want people to know a few things extra about the pumpkins and things that I'm doing out here, but I'll save that for my next video. But I just wanted to give you kind of an update what's going on with that. Everything's doing okay for now, but I am seeing pest pressures already trying to get to them, and I'll just talk about that in the next video. So from Pittman's Pumpkin Patch, Pittman's Garden Patch, thank you for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. Post them down below. And thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.